Hey guys, welcome back to Umineko. Okay. Good day to you. Good day to you. Good day to you is the standard greeting used here. No matter how many years pass by, this style of greeting still feels very awkward. Even though I've responded to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling, the classmate who had spoken looked at me blankly. Huh? Hee Huh? What's that? It seems you're mistaken. Hee The choice of words and manner were certainly what you expect from school for rich girls, but the actual meaning wasn't innocent and cruel as you expect from the kids of that age. It seems they found it funny that I mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. No, it might be the opposite. Maybe they didn't know how to react after being suddenly greeted by a gloomy, quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates who were looking this way over their shoulders and whispering to each other. It looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. I was dark because I was disliked, so trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning anymore, I stooped lower and entered the classroom, almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theater while the movie was running. This is an all-dorm school, St. Lucia Academy. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girls' school, known of only by a select group of celebrities from various fields. From lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints, this is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it was probably also convenient for nobles who wanted to confine daughters who they didn't want they didn't want out in public school, in public, whatever, as well as an academy isolated from the impurities of this common world. It also held excellent potential as a prison school. It was truly among the latter and was confined in the St. Lucia Academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you couldn't tell us apart at a glance. However, even if we never fessed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads with an expression on our faces, as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had one or two kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed I was one of those kids, at some point everyone in my class knew about it. Just like how the seriousness of an injury becomes a sign of status in the hospital room, how noble a birth one had become a sign of status here. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged in public were probably nothing more than filth to the others. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. When a rumor sprang up about a particular student, those fastidious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this all by myself. Well, that's only if hearing people whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having anyone pretend like they didn't know anything can be called a quiet school life. Even this early in the morning, I must look worn out. I could almost understand why my other classmates who had a refreshing morning looked at my face and wanted to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' morning, I quietly took my seat. Then usually someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader. Good day to you, Ushamiya-san. You seem to be in a bad mood this morning. Were you able to get enough sleep? Is this a business you have with me? You're the only one who has not submitted her questionnaire for the class presentation, Ushamiya-san. Do you forget that the deadline was yesterday? I'm pretty sure I heard about that last week, but I thought that the questionnaire hadn't been passed out yet. The details would be written there, so you shouldn't have been any need to remember them beforehand. I wasn't given a questionnaire. That can't be. I believe the dormitory leader handed them out to everyone. If you lost it, all you have to do is honestly say so. I lost it. I'll fill it in right now so you can give me a sheet. Again, either someone lost my sheet or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I have no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly. Once you filled it out, drop it in the questionnaire box in the student council room yourself. Our class is the only one that did get everyone's in by yesterday. As I held my head out in the class leader's scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching coming from no direction in particular. Ushumi ascended it again. She's just so careless. She doesn't deserve to be in this school. She has no dignity and no manners either. Sorry, girls, like that with lynch force when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. When I learned that father, mother, and Oni-chan and all the rest of my family had died, I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Ushamiya Eva, only Aunt Eva. Even at the time, I hadn't really liked Aunt Eva. I declared that she would act kindly, but even as young as I was, I could see that she only somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I hadn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Eva would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. Maybe it wouldn't matter if that gentle Uncle Hideyoshi and George Oni-chan had been with me, but I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Eva. I frankly said that to Grandpa, hoping to live together in this house. However, Aunt Eva had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor, it was essential if the Shermier family was to continue. Aunt Eva felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take charge of me right away, so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for her successor. After that, it seems like confusing negotiations with lawyers took place, but in the end, I was forced to go live with Aunt Eva. After doing that, Aunt Eva told me something. You must bear all the glory and history of the Shermier family, and in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to forensic studying. Sacrifice the rest of your life for the Ushiromiya family. That's what she said. At first, I thought she meant that literally, but I quickly realized that wasn't the case, because even in Aunt Eva's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Oni-chan. After our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questions about the table manners. It was forced to listen to her abuse mom and dad, so they've been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding manners at my first party, and my clumsiness had been discharged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to mom and dad as well. After that, repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand, and Eva didn't really want me to make her successor. She thought George Oni-chan was the only one truly suited to be her successor, and she couldn't forgive the fact that it was me to be instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me, and she made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Oni-chan to both acquaintances and strangers. Surely in place of a memorial service for her dead son, or rather she must still be mourning his death. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Eva. I was kept like a pet, my life continually compared with their dead sons. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school, I tried to escape the Ushiramiya house and run to the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. However, Aunt Eva had already foreseen that, and though thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by the guards and brought back, and for being a coward who smeared the Ushiramiya family crest with mud and tried to throw it away in a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just remembering it, I was punished. I tried to describe what Aunt Eva was like when she punished me. In the frenzy, gleeful, I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, and as well as the hatred and pain for me stealing that inheritance from the son who should have received it, and the dark pleasure at being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all those negative emotions at once. In all my free time, my freedom was to act stolen, and I was put under surveillance around the clock. May I have lived in a gorgeous mansion dressed in expensive clothes, but my heart and my dignity have been trampled upon, and I was Yushimiya's family's slave, its cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. After burying almost all the fields of the questionnaire, nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket, because if I left it at my desk, it might disappear again. During lunch break, after dropping off at the post box in the student council room, I finished lunch by myself as usual and headed behind the school building where no one could be seen. Only my time by myself could protect me from the derisive laughter and gossip, since I was hated and didn't have a single friend. My time alone was the most kind to me. After checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my quiet time, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then I let out a sigh. It faltered, heavy as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. My old favorite place behind the vegetable garden storehouse had been found out by my classmates, and I had been teased, so this was my new lunchtime hideaway. There's nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crossed through the wall in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag and took out a book with an elaborate old-fashioned binding. Just glancing at it, you'd probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages, but this wasn't a book, it was a diary. Of course, it wasn't my diary. There weren't anything special things worth writing about my daily life. Every single day was just gray, cold, and dry, and those completely unchanging days there aren't any changes worth writing down. It was the diary of Mariah Oni-chan, a girl I've been very close to. She's been a bit strange and 2 years older than me, but Oni-chan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She would always grab me by the hand, let me join in on some fun game. I remember that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. When I opened the diary, the characters which were made fairly skillfully, considering I was an elementary schooler, were packed close together, though they were written on every other line. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in our diary? Probably not. To her, writing our daily life down in a diary was probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Mariah Oni-chan's diary was written like a letter to another part of herself, telling of the events of that day. I found this diary among her belongings after her death. I secretly took it home. At first, I felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish to satisfy myself with just keeping it by my side, but I couldn't help but flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit, and by now she had become my only friend. I gently opened the page with the bookmark. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mariah Oni-chan. Could you let me hear your story again? At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew tickling the paper. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Mariah Oni-chan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. On the pages of the open diary, knowing the world of the diary, Mariah-chan showed herself. I'm pretty sure she was 9 when she died, so her form was already younger than me. But I call her Oni-chan, so she affectionately calls me Ange. Ooh, Ange, you're slow getting here today. Was it packed at lunch? Yes, it's always packed. Groups of friends set up their camps and seats, and they stay there even after they finish eating. It's pretty fatal if you get into the dining hall late. I was on cleanup duty today. Ooh, I eat fast. The faster you eat, the more you can play. Ooh. Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge because that duty had been forced upon me, shortening my lunch break by a bit. Mariah Oni-chan brightly changed the subject. Grateful for the act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Mariah calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. I read about it in her diary. No, I heard it from Mariah Oni-chan. She was ranked number 1 among the girls in the speed eating ranking for her Grace newspaper. She was apparently very proud of that, but a little disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it. Ooh, then let's start out our story for today. How far did we get yesterday? Ooh. This far until you got Sekitaro's present. Mariah Oni-chan, you promised me that you'd tell me about Sekitaro. Ooh, let's talk about Sekitaro. You know, Sekitaro's a really cute stuffed animal. I'm sure you like him too, Ange. Ooh. Yeah, tell me that story. The only time I can relax at school is when I'm listening to your stories during lunch break. Ooh, I'll tell you about it. Sekitaro was really, when I looked at Mariah Oni-chan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. As I listened to her tale, I began to get absorbed into her world. Okay. Happy birthday, Mariah. Sorry I got back so late. Ooh, good job with your work, Mama. I know you're busy, so even though you're late, I waited without crying. I was good overeated watching TV. Yeah, you're such a good girl, Mariah. It's a pleasure for waiting politely. You can order anything you want today. Of course, only as much as you can eat, okay? Ooh, take a change my corn soup to onion gratin soup. Yes, it's fine. Ooh, 200 yen more expensive, but I could change it to prosciutto pizza? Yes, that's fine. If you really can eat it, but that's okay. It's your birthday after all. It must be a reward for a good girl who waited so patiently. Ooh. Then they can have enchilada cheesecake for dessert, and then a chef's choice fruit salad and kids' french fries. I want to drink melon soda too. Ooh, I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Mama praised me. Ooh. Hee, you're getting a little too excited. If you don't quiet down a bit, you'll disturb the other customers. Rosa gently admonished her. Mariah stuck her tongue out and eased up a little. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat out with their mother after such a long time. Today was Mariah's birthday. Rosa always tried to let Mariah spend her birthdays at great restaurants. When Mariah had been in the kindergarten, they sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making a huge celebration. But when they moved and Mariah no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. However, today they were in a normal family restaurant. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Mariah to eat there, even with the parent. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic place that would surely have pleased Mariah. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Mariah's name written on it. But Rosa just hasn't been able to finish up her business and had been forced to cancel. Since that plan had been created for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Mariah. So she was prepared to spoil Mariah a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight. You never used to eat much, did you, Mariah? Was it really alright to order that much? Ooh, I can't eat very much, but I like to have a lot lined up. You know, like a birthday table. If it's colored all over with red and blue and green and yellow, makes you really happy. Alright, having your birthday table be colorful can make you feel happy. Birthdays at my place are no match for yours, Mariah Oni-chan, but the cakes we bought at the Fumiya store in the front of the station were always gorgeous. And she thought back to her own birthdays nostalgically. Even though Dad was busy, sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party and then went right back to his company. At the time I was sad, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mom always took very good care of me. In particular, her birthday presents were always in excellent taste, as she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. Even though we always sent an invitation to Battler Onichan, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he kept not coming. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties when the whole four-person family gathered made for fun memories I'll never forget. Ooh, Angie's birthday sounds a lot of fun too. Battler and Uncle Rudolph are really lively. Yay! Battler got covered in cola. Maroni Chat peeked into my happy memory as I sat quietly wearing an origami hat that Dad had made for me. I was a little embarrassed. In my hand was a paper gun that Battler on the chat had folded for me, and Mom was taking a commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life. But your birthday's no worse tomorrow on China, and it was the day you get him, right, Sakutaro? Ooh, I was really looking forward to it. I got so excited wondering when Mama was showing me the red present in the corner of her bag. Sakutaro's the name of a stuffed animal that Mariah was to receive that day. For quite some time before then, Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Mariah as a present today. Her name was a cute lion stuffed animal. Mariah only had already given it the name Sakutaro, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today, she was looking forward to meeting Sakutaro even more than her own birthday. Aunt Rosa ran a clothing design company and sent me some kind of brand name. Well, with Auntie Rosa, it seems her catchphrase was, "I can't forgive the me of yesterday." Unfortunately, I never met someone who knew of that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. Aunt Rosa was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities. A handmade stuffed animal, that's pretty amazing. By the way, why did you call it Sakutaro? Ooh, actually wanted to call it Sakura, but it's a male lion, so she told me to give it a boy's name. So I added like a boy like Taro and called him Sakutaro. Eventually the last U disappeared. Why Sakura? Ooh, the main character in Card Master Sakura. It was the name of a main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. The fact that she simply borrowed the name of a character she liked was how I should say it, as innocent and cute as you expect from someone that age. Ooh, Mama, still no Sakutaro? I want to let Sakutaro join on my birthday too. Presents always come at the end, alright? If you open it now, it'll get dirty. Hold on till the meal is over. Then I'll finish eating quickly. Ooh. As soon as she proclaimed that, she started tearing into her meal. And Rosa got mad at her saying that was rude. It seemed that she expected this would happen right away. I also thought that given how straightforward Mariah was probably what she'd do, so it's quite unpleasant when my expectations were betrayed. In the end, Rosa looked to her daughter's eyes, which were sparkling with anticipation, cleaned up the table and then took out the long-awaited red present. Happy birthday, Mariah. I wasn't able to spend much time on it, so I couldn't make it very well. Ooh, if you made it, I'll be happy with anything. Ooh, Sakutaro. Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Mariah Oni-chan was happy even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand the feeling. It's not a problem of equality, just the fact that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything. Can I open it? I want to wait until we got back home before doing it, but just for a bit, okay? We'll just take a look and say hello, then put it back. You can give him a proper greeting once we get home. Or in public so you can't fool around, okay? Can you promise? Ooh, promise. So, can I open it? Mama, yes, just for a bit, okay? Yay. Before Aunt Rosa finished talking, when I started unwrapping it. Ew. As, as soon as she did, a yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion, a stuffed animal, with cute round eyes and a white chest. It was about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone that showed us Mariah on the channel, but it probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know but better, it would probably look like a cheap bot from a department store or something. But to Mariah on the channel, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world and irreplaceable. Secretaro, hee hee hee, cute, so cute. Thank you, Mama, thank you so much for making such a cute stuffed animal, even though you were so busy with work. If you praise me that much, it's actually embarrassing. I couldn't take much time, so I couldn't make anything that good. I actually wanted to make one so big that you couldn't wrap your arms around it. No, this is good. And with this size, we can always be together. We can go out together. Secretary, I'm your only chan. Ooh. It really is an adorable stuffed animal, so this kid is Secretary, your best friend. Ooh, we can't go to school together, but me and my best friend are always together at home. You know, Secretary was really innocent and cute. Oh, he's always nice to me. He supports me when I'm feeling down and plays a lot with me when I'm feeling good. So I'm never lonely anymore. Not lonely when Mama's busy with work and I'm all alone. Not even when no one plays with me at school. Is that right, Secretary? Ooh, you. At school, Mariah Oni-chan lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other kids in our class, Mariah Oni-chan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar and a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. Her grades were low as well, and since she was talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty was she was treated like a weirdo by everyone in class. If you were touched by Mariah Oni-chan, EV curse, stuff like that. Apparently everyone in her class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her, and avoided her. If a boy bumped into Mariah Oni-chan, he'd start rubbing that part against other boys as if they got some scum on him. They'd pick up her stuff like it was filthy and chase the other boys around with it. It seems the girls thought that even speaking to her was unpleasant, so they ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake. It looks like bullying isn't the same on all eras. Humans really don't advance at all, do they? If only they just get wiped out. I'm sad when I'm bullied, but I think it can't be helped. It can't be helped. Why not? After all, there's a rule that says every class has to have a single bully kid. That's a horrible rule. I'd like to find that person who made it and hit them over the head with the brick, using the corner, of course. If it wasn't there, maybe surely be a new bully kid chosen in my place. By staying strong, I could protect that kid. As she said that, she smiled faintly. Mariah Oni-chan's way of thinking really is unusual. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in that place she called the school. No, she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. The witch tries to steal the students' souls to death by disease or accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down that path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue. And that angel tried to finish off that witch. The witch was powerful, and the fight took 7 days to 7 nights, but even then it still wasn't over. The tired out witch asked for a truce and proposed this. I heard about that one before. Until now, I've made half the students in class become sick or injured, but in exchange, they protected their men and half of the students from sickness and injury. Therefore, if a member of the class becomes a sacrifice to me and is to the bullied kid, I shall protect all of the other students from sickness and injury, right? Ooh, the angel thought about it. Compared to have the class meeting with misfortune, having only one person be unfortunate would be much better than a witch said she protect the safety of all the other students using our magical power. Or powerful magic, whatever it said. Anyway, if there are 40 students in the class and 20 victims are reduced to 1 and then 19 people are saved, it's actually a reasonable proposal. I wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Mariah Oni-chan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive. The angel decided to accept the proposal, so through that single sacrifice, 19 people were saved. That's why my role is important. The witch is protecting 19 people because we become sacrifices. Well, I don't remember ever being thanked by those 19 people. Mariah Oni-chan's idea was too compassionate. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune, and yet maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are. So you aren't Samurai Oni-chan? Ooh, I'm not sad at all. After all, I've been together with Secretary from Al-Awan, right? Secretary. Ooh, if I could meet Mariah, I'll be happy too. Look, Secretary says he's happy too. Ooh. Mariah Oni-chan hugged the Secretary, stuffed pale animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand that, but that's exactly why I want to reach Mariah Oni-chan's level. So it's artistic John to her tale in her words. And she said, is it tough because you're all alone? Is it tough just the time I can be like this with you is different because I'm not all alone. Then if Secretary also becomes your friend, I'll be even more fun. We will then starting today, Secretary and just new friend. Right, Secretary? Ew. Ooh, I'm Angel's friend. Ooh, Angel. She's completely playing, moving stuffed animal like it was a puppet. Mara only chance to express the Secretary's emotions. She was controlling him, but the charming way he waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made me feel like he really was a new friend called Secretary. Of course, looking at it with the cold eyes, it would only appear that Marione Jones comforted me with that one when I was grumpy, but her soul had definitely been sent to that stuffed animal. The soul of Marione Jones' love, second knowledge the existence of a being called Secretary inside that stuffed animal. Come on, say hi to Secretary too, Ange. Come on. You say hi to Secretary. Ryu is Ange a scary person? A secretary timidly looked at me. He unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Mariah and he shakes back in surprise. Mariah Oni-chan really is good playing with stuffed animals. It's okay, Secretary. Angie's a scary person. She is really a nice girl. Ooh. Hello, I'm Secretary. Ooh, you. Hee. Pleased to meet you, Secretary. I'm Ange. I'm glad to have a new friend. I held out my hand as though asking for a handshake. A secretarial's short hand was stuck out towards me. I lightly touching my index finger. After all, when a human and stuffed animal shake hands, they're so too different. The great scheme by touching each other's fingers was our handshake. Ooh, now Ange and Secretary are already friends. Two people are more fun than one, and three people are more fun than two. Ooh. Mariah Oni-chan had given the name Secretary to the stuffed animal she was receiving on her birthday, and had warmed and expanded her existence in her heart for a long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was some limited to a personality. Even at the first moment they met, they were already even friends. Of course, there was anything extraordinary in Mariah Oni-chan's eyes, although I don't think she personified and loved anything quite as much as Secretary. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. And Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time, so she felt like treasuring objects instead. And maybe she was so isolated that she had been forced to find a friend nearby because of all that. What happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Secretary, no, maybe I should call her Secretary like Mariah Oni-chan. There's no doubt that Secretary was a stuffed animal, no friend whom she loved more than anything or anyone. Hello, it's Mama. You're in a good mood. Is a friend over? Ooh, playing with Secretary. Secretary, knock it off. Hee. It was already about 9 at night. Rose had already asked because it was supposed to be a good time to have a friend over, and she had been just a little surprised. But when she slept about it, Mariah didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she had so much fun playing with that stuffed animal, Rosa was very pleased that Mariah had liked her birthday present so much. Sorry, Mama, just to get her work finished tonight. The next season's lineup is having a tough time. It looks like we're finally starting to get orders bit by bit, and I want to somehow give a bit more impact so we can answer their expectations. So you're spending the night? Sure. Okay, do your best, Mama. But really thinking, Mariah. Thanks for being understanding about Mama's work. Rosa was surprised that Mariah had accepted it so easily that she wouldn't be able to come home from work. To Rosa, having to tell Mariah that she'd be coming home later, staying overnight was a huge burden. Mariah would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Mariah would accept it in such a high spirits is this also thanks to Secretary, who was always again pleased that she gave her daughter such a good present. I'll make sure I come back at this time tomorrow. Let's eat dinner together then. You haven't eaten dinner yet, have you, Mariah? Buy a bento at the convenience store and eat it. No sweets and no soda. I'll check the receipt and change, understand? Ew, shopping with Secretary. Hey. Now Secretary, haven't watched over the house. From Mariah's manner of speech, she also got the feeling that Mariah might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased, and after sourly saying that Mariah definitely must have done that, she hung up. Ooh, Mama said I must go shopping with Secretary. Ooh, can't go shopping with Mariah. Staying home alone will be lonely. Why did Mama say not to go shopping with Secretary? Ooh, I'm sure that if Mariah was sitting with me, it would be embarrassing. Embarrassing? Why? Mama says I have to take me outside a lot, and she usually says Mariah can't do it because she's too old. Ooh, but I'm not embarrassed at all to be with Secretary, right? I'm a lion, but I'm a stuffed animal. You're a lion and a stuffed animal, but you're my friend. So let's go out together. It's just when Mama isn't around as a secret. Ooh, you weren't saying that you're embarrassed, are you? I'm not embarrassed, but the people outside are a little scary. Is that it? Then I'll make it so they can go outside without being scared. Leave it to me. I got something that's really useful. Mariah started fishing around her messy room. Rosa often told her to clean it up, but Mariah apparently didn't like doing it. However, Mariah knew more or less what everything was, so much that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have trouble finding it where anything is. Here it is. Hey, look, Secretary, a knapsack. Mariah probably held it up high. Secretary looked up at the knapsack, which was being open, squirming, as though saying, "Are you serious?" Ooh, Mariah, you weren't saying. Ew, this way we could go shopping together and Secretary won't be scared. Mariah held Secretary up and started stuffing him in the knapsack. At first, she tried to stick him in the head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she pulled him out and tried pushing him in again, feet first. Uriel tight, cramped, dark, Uriel. Look, it's all right. If you stick your head out, it isn't cramped and it isn't dark and it isn't scary. And it's a good view. Ooh. Uriel, you're right. Is it okay for me to go shopping with Mario like this? Yeah, it'll be fine. What should go for dinner tonight? Come on, let's go out, Secretary. Ooh. Looks like you're having fun, Marioni-chan. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even things would be lonely and boring all alone. All become fun with Secretary. Any human friend would have to go home when it gets late. But Secretary doesn't go home, so we can be together all the time. He'll watch TV with me, be together even in the futon, and even hold my hand on scary nights when there's thunder. He'll chase away the monsters in the closet and under the bed. Secretary was reliable. He was just on my line. I'll show my courage to chase away any monster that scares Mariah. Roar. They were so close that I made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older than now than Mariah-chan was then. But Mariah, Oni-chan really is my Oni-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Secretary. Secretary and I are your close friends, right? We're always by your side. It's just that your magic is so weak you can't perceive us unless you open my diary like this. Perceive, some pretty difficult words, Mariah Oni-chan. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits, and they're as natural and nearby as a light breeze. You don't normally notice to see the wind, but when you see smoke or something draw tails, you can see it, right? Right. And even if you can't see it, it's always nearby. That's it. We're always really close by to you, and gods and spirits and guardian spirits are always right next to us. But if you aren't conscious of them, you can't feel their existence. Like wind that can't be seen with the eyes, but they certainly are near us, and if they draw tails in a smoke called magic, anyone can see them. I thought I'd only be able to meet Mariah Oni-chan while this diary was open, but from what she says, she'll always be with me, and I can meet her at any time if I truly desire to. Along with the record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my diary, so the power of my name and magic resides in this diary, but it's very faint, so only you can feel it. Only I could tell it's there. Yes, after all, the power of a witch resides in you, just like me. If you study hard, you too will definitely become a great witch in the future. A witch, I wonder if that'd be fun. It's fun. If you do that, you'll be able to know that Secretary and I are always by your side, even without opening a diary. If you do that, every day will become fun. If you do that, I'll introduce you to my many other friends. If you do that, every day will get busy and very lively. That might be fun. I do have that grimoire you left behind, Mariah Oni-chan. I'll try reading it seriously sometime soon. If I do that, I won't be all alone anymore, right? Ooh. Mariah Oni-chan and Secretary said that at the same time. May it be that I had developed an interest in the world of witches. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little few minute break here, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm back with her knapsack on her back, and half a secretary she's peeking out of it. She triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. Well, it was that time of day after all. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering the shutters on their shops, or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. Amidst all that, Mariah was in a good mood, like someone on the hike, probably looked quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance back at her with the eyes of someone saying something out of place. Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of the knapsack. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which had been growing in popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. It was very convenient for Mariah, whose mothers returned was often late. Mariah lowered the knapsack from her back and carried it. It looked like a child in her arms. She headed over to the sweet buns corner. She had pointed to a sweet bun that she'd eaten before, explained to Secretary that this one was delicious, and that one was pretty good too. Secretary seemed to be enjoying it a lot. I'm going to have the three-colored one. It was just this one. You can eat bean jam, cream, and a strawberry jam. Well, there's sometimes greenish brown bean jam or white bean jam. There should be one kind of bean jam. Uryu. Looks like having different things inside makes them interesting. Uryu. Next, I'll have a fruit yogurt. There's a fruit in it, but it's sweet, right? Yeah, I'm sure Mom will be fine with it. Do you want one too, Secretaro? Ooh, this is really okay. What about the money? Ooh, no problem. Look, it's Toko Taishi. Ooh, so I can buy you whatever you want to, Secretaro. Let's eat together. Would you like some yogurt too, Secretaro? Remember, I made grab another one of the same fruit yogurt, Secretaro. Ben says, slightly worried. Ooh, but I can't eat a big one, so a small one will be fine. Ooh, then how about small yogurt? It's 30 yen. It's cheap. Ooh, that's good enough for me. Yogurt with Mariah. Yogurt with Secretaro. Ooh. Mariah put the three-colored bread and two yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. The man running the register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year. I seem to be seeing you a lot at this time of the day, little lady. You're a good girl, but maybe you better come with your mother if you're going to the show this time in the future, okay? Mama said it's okay, so it's fine. Mama always comes home late because of her work, but we aren't lonely. Right, Secretaro? Ooh, really? That sounds tough. Here, I'll give you some free soda. The man working at the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register and packed it into the bag with everything else. Thank you, mister. Ooh, isn't that great, Secretaro? Ooh, so she had been told not to buy soda. She couldn't take it back home. She just decided to drink on her way back and not bring the empty can back home. With the vinyl bag with the sweet bun in it around her elbow, holding the knapsack with Secretaro in it, with that same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home. Ooh, okay, hold on. Yuzu Koshu soda isn't really good, but you want to try too, Secretaro? Wow. God, you're me, Mariah. Nasty. It sure is. Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She just put the can to Secretary's mouth and put it in the tilted. It was fun for Mariah to share the taste of this weird drink that she had forgotten she gotten for free with Secretary. There's a huge moon in the sky. At times that the moon had been clouded by tears when she'd been unimaginable during Rosa's overnight stays and when she'd been scolded by her mother. But this moon was very warm and it seemed to watch over the two of them as they overjoyed their trip home by themselves. Mariah and Secretary and watched the two of them go from behind. She looked so warm from behind. After looking at the backs of Mariah and Chan and Secretary together, it became very hard to remember all those long nights when she cried because of her mother had come home. I couldn't say it to Mario Onichan, but if I'd been in the same position, I may have been given a single. I may have been given a stuffed animal the name Secretary, but it wouldn't have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship that only distracts you from their loneliness, but Mario Onichan was different. Secretary wasn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Mariah from her loneliness, he changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Secretary was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Because it was very cute? Probably not. Because I kind of want to see if, okay. No, I just wanted to see if there was a, different drawing for this with the new sprites and whatnot. Okay, anyway, if there's a secret here, it doesn't lie with Secretary. Thank you. It probably lies with the Marioni-chan. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. This is the power of magic you're talking about, Mario Oni-chan. Ooh, knowing magic means that you notice a lot of friends right beside you that you didn't notice before. It's as fun as having a bunch of new toy shops pop up all over the neighborhood. Even if I locked up in the academy without a single friend. I had power like Mario Oni-chan. I wonder if I could make my days just a bit richer. I wonder if I'll be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying the small and gray nights. Yes, you can. You can do it. That's all. You also have what it takes to become a witch. What it takes to become a witch. I have it what it takes to become a witch too. So I've still got a lot more studying and training to do. I'll definitely become a wonderful witch flying in the sky on a broom, drawing rainbows with my cane, making candy foam from the sky. I could definitely do it, then I'll show you too. I'll definitely be a scene from a wonderful dream. Mariah only trying to say that, making an absolute promise with a smile. There's no way I can become a witch, but Mariah only says that makes me feel that maybe I really can become a witch, because in reality, on that desolate night, when no flower of a smile could possibly have bloomed, their magic surely gave birth to a smile. I wonder if I could become a witch. You can. You're a bit older, so your soul is bound a bit marked by gravity. That might make training tougher than it is for me. But you definitely can. After all, you're already touching a small piece of magic. I am magic. Yeah, come on, look, in a world where I don't exist, you summon me and then you're talking with me. This is magic. Yeah, you've expended on the fragment of my soul that I left in my diary. You're reviving me right now. I also said it a short while ago, right? Since you managed to reunite with me and have a conversation, since you're able to smile every once in a while, you must have some magical talent, and Your Mariah Oni-chan guarantees it. Ooh, you said it a second ago, Oni-chan. I thought I could only meet you while this diary was open, but you're really nearby all the time, right? If I had more of the magical power, would I be able to see you? And just like now, would I be able to talk with you, Oni-chan, at any time? Yeah, we could talk at any time. I'm there by your side to say good morning, and even during class. Let's talk together during adult class. It's distract you from your boredom. I'll also be there to talk to you during meals, so let's always be together like this during lunch break. We're with you after school too. Of course, I'm always by your side, even after you turn to the dormitory. It's just that you don't see me except when the diary is open. Even when I close the diary, Mariana, you'll be by my side, right? Yes, I'll be there. So if you try to see me and try to talk to me, I'll definitely be able to answer. If you look strongly and try to talk, that is, I'll give it a try. It isn't easy, okay? It isn't going to go well all of a sudden, got it? I understand. I'm sure it won't be easy. But I want to be like you, Mariana-chan. Ooh, I understand. But then look at me well. Look closely. Okay. Slowly open and close your eyes. You can't shut them for a long time all of a sudden. After burning my form into your eyes, should make it blend into the inside of your eyelids. Yeah, I'm doing it. Once you can visualize me even when your eyes are closed without changing anything, slowly and softly close your eyes again. How is it? Can you still see me? Yes, I think I could probably see you. Let's try opening your eyes for a second. Now for the real thing. Calm your heart and close the diary. At that time, my form may disappear for a second, but calm your heart and don't get anxious, and then try to make me that blends into the inside of your eyelids blend back into your eyes. Slowly visualize me in the empty air. In the empty air, see me. Yeah, I'm okay. Then I'll close the diary. Ooh. Slowly, I closed it. When I did, a gray reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Mariani transformed disappeared. Give it all you've got. Have courage to take the first step into the world of witches. I feel like Mariani-chan was cheering me on in the inside of my heart. She's cheering me on, really? Or do I think that she is? No, that's wrong. It's because I think this is... I cannot see her. Mariani-chan is always by my side, and even now she's definitely there cheering me on to do my best. That reached to my ears, so I must ignore it like it's my imagination or the voice of my own heart. I believe that Mariani-chan is there. I mustn't doubt, I believe. Oni-chan should always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But looking at the empty space by the empty back wall of the school building, I missed that those heartlessly boring rays of sunlight calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The change of common sense that clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper when looking at a sea of lights. It's Mariani-chan saying it. It's alright, she said, now I'm someone who can do it. Stop thinking they might fall or that it'd be foolish to take a step off a roof and free yourself from those chains of common sense. Ooh. Okay. I studied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. I make the vivid form of Marioni-chan in the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic could see Marioni-chan. Marioni-chan, huh? Is someone there? At the time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry came to my senses. It looked like I was the only one behind the school building. No, since I've been so immersed in the world of diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of three behind the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone talking in secret. I hurried out of that place because if I had become known that I had been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it became a pain again. She said it right. She said it right. She said Mariani-chan has something right. Is this that creepy? She is seeing spirits or something like she. Hee hee hee. You sure me a sense so funny. I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind, irritating and feeling that Mariah-chan had been made fun of. I left that place at a quick pace and then jogged once I turned the corner, and I might have made Oni-chan's world just a little more time. It was frustrating and aggravating. Why does anyone get in my way? I haven't gotten anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but I still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. Okay, guys, I want to be ending the video here. This is a little nice backstory kind of deal right here. Well, I mean, it's not really a backstory. It's kind of in the future, but yeah, it's still nice. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all later.